Glad you could join us today on EdFile. Welcome to the program. I'm Ayola Kasim. The effects of climate change are being seen more frequently than ever before. Although efforts are being made to address the issue, the reality of the matter is that the damage is already being done and the agricultural sector is experiencing the full wrath of climate change. Today we show the impact of the changes in weather patterns on agriculture and how farmers can get help when they face the risks. Do stay with us. Across the tropics, smaller farmers already face numerous risks to agricultural production, including pest and disease outbreaks, extreme weather events and market shocks, which often undermine their household food and income security. Because smallholder farmers typically depend directly on agriculture for their livelihoods and capacity to cope with shocks, any reductions to agricultural productivity can have significant impact on their food security, nutrition, income, and well-being. Climate change is expected to disproportionately affect these householder farmers and make their livelihoods even more precarious. However, there is limited information on their overall vulnerability and adaptation needs.
There's so much happening. There's still a disconnect between our research centers, what they're doing, and the small-scale farmers. There's a disconnect between the National Bureau of Statistics and the climate information centers. There is a disconnect, again, between what we do at the National Meteorological Centers and what the local farmers actually are doing.
Just 5.
Nehemiah is a fish farmer in Shimawa in Ogun State. He's one of many who have heeded the advice that there is a gain in agriculture. He currently manages 3 earthen ponds in the area, and he is one of 22 members of the cooperative in this area. Like many fish farmers in the country, he laments the high cost of inputs, especially fees, which force a lot of them in the industry to wind down.
They don't eat floating feed. To get linked to the market people also is this CAFAN, the way they crash the price last rainy season. That is why most farmers decide not to go into fish farming anymore, because most of them had massive loss. So because of that, presently there is no fish, because most people sold their fish during the rainy season, and when they saw the loss, for the new people that are into it, when they saw the loss, they couldn't restock and they couldn't continue with the products and the business.
According to Nehemiah, apart from the increment in prices of feeds, poor access to credit, lack of direct investment, and lack of requisite technical skills as well as access to the market are major challenges fish farmers face. Added to these is the effect of climate change.
Like this hot weather, you hardly get, for we that operate on earthen pond, you hardly get water from the river flowing. But if you have a pond that springs out water, like mine, my pond springs out water, and in fact, the pond is still the one supplying that other pond water. One of the major challenges is climate change affects, and when it is raining, for we operating on earthen pond, during rainy season, our major challenge is the river bank flowing through the pond and sweeping the old fish. If your pond is not well secured during the rainy season, it's better you are always on ground, because when the heavy downpour comes up and the river bank bounces back, your fish is at risk.
Farmers like Nehemiah have no protection against the impact of climate change, as well as the risk associated with their profession. This is mainly because of the size of their farms and the lack of knowledge that persists in the industry about adequate protections available. For instance, because of the severe impact of climate change on the Lake Chad, farming, fishing, and pastoral residents who live on the edges of the lake are frequently forced to move southwards in search of greener vegetation. And over time, Nigeria and 3 other countries, that is, Niger, Chad, and Cameroon, have seen systemic drought, unemployment, and conflict over natural resources such as fertile croplands escalate within their territories. From 1960, reports indicate that Lake Chad's surface area has dramatically reduced by 90% from 25,000 square kilometers to about 1,500 square kilometers due to increasing temperatures from global warming. Similarly, its dwindling waters have stirred insecurity and chaos in Nigeria, a country the Lake Chad Commission said now houses about 60% of the Lake Basin population. The Commission's report also indicated that these communities of people comprising cattle herders have continued to move southwards from Kano and Maiduguri, which are their initial entry points, into Kogi, Benue, Ekiti, and Enugu State, looking for more fertile soil to farm and pasture on. But they have not been received well by locals. Further away from Boko Haram terrorists, the pastoral communities in particular have continued to attract conflict over pasture land along local communities they pass through. And clashes of interest between them and local farmers have subsequently increased, with a few thousands of people already dead from recorded confrontations. Heightened by climate change and Boko Haram, clashes between farmers and herdsmen in the country have not just led to the loss of lives and property, but also adversely affected farming activities, which